My second book that I'd like to go over is The Complete Watercolorist Essential Notebook, a treasury of watercolor secrets discovered through decades of painting and experimentation, by artist Gordon MacKenzie. This is a really good reference book that I use a lot. The first half of the book is The Complete Watercolorist Essential Notebook, and it's broken down into 3 sections. You've got tools of the trade for the watercolors, brushes, paper, palettes, palette knives, and sponges and masking materials. Then he goes over the various techniques for each one of those tools. Brushes, palette knives, sticks, sponges, how to master your washes and glazes, fading out a color, working wet and masking with the various different masking tapes and liquid latex. Then he goes over the factors to consider for putting together your composition, ways to approach composition, developing a series of paintings, and then he goes over a section of intuition versus planning, and then the final section I found very interesting, to save or not to save your artwork. But he pretty much basically breaks everything down into bite-sized, easy to understand details, even with showing visual examples of how to use the various brushes to make the various techniques. Painting with each individual tool. How to use the masking for various textures. How to do the composition, the placement. A lot of simple, easy to use examples for painting even delicate details. He goes over the color theory with the color wheel. Having trouble getting these pages to turn. Setting up how to set up your color palette for your paints. Whether you want it to, be set up like the color wheel, or whether you want it set up a different way. How to use a viewfinder, which is a tool that I use a lot. Here's the developing a series of paintings. The second half of the book is the Watercolorist Essential Notebook for specific landscapes, for specific subject of landscapes. And again, he breaks it down to the medium and the tools and techniques, composing the landscape painting, using the color wheel and perspective. And then he goes over the basic landscape elements. Painting water, a section on painting skies, reflective lights, painting land, different pieces of the land, trees, palm trees, conifer trees, branches, ferns, how to do country roads, snow, autumn, winter, the various seasons. He even goes over in both of these sections, the first half and the second half of the books here, about the pigment characteristics, the paint quality to use, pigments to avoid, pigments that might be named different names within the various brands, what might be fugitive. This is just a really good reference book for the beginning artist or even the advanced artist. There's times when I go back to look at something and I can't remember something, and I will go back and look at, see if I can find it in here in this valuable book that I use constantly for various reference questions. Just a really good book. The Complete Watercolorist Essential Notebook by Gordon MacKenzie.